It was January 15th, 1919, in Boston's North End. The city was bustling with life. Children were coming home from school, and workers were heading back to their jobs. Little did they know, a disaster was about to strike, and it wasn't water or even fire. It was molasses. Picture this: a colossal steel tank, 50 feet tall and 90 feet wide, standing like a giant sentinel over Boston's harbor. It's emblazoned with the name Purity Distilling Company and holds over 2.3 million gallons of molasses. This wasn't just any molasses, it was thick and viscous, and under the right conditions, it could become a deadly force of nature. On this particular day, the temperature had risen after a cold spell, increasing the pressure inside the tank to dangerously high levels. At around 12:30 p.m., the unthinkable happened. The tank ruptured with a thunderous bang, sending a colossal wave of molasses cascading through the streets. The wave was 25 feet high and 160 feet wide and moved at an alarming 35 miles per hour. It wasn't long before the streets were engulfed, trapping everything in its path: people, horses, wagons, and even buildings. The sheer force of the molasses was unstoppable, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. The scene was nothing short of apocalyptic. The molasses moved swiftly, engulfing everything in its path. It wasn't just the speed that was terrifying, it was the nature of the molasses itself. Sticky, thick, and incredibly heavy, it was almost impossible to escape once it had you in its grasp. Imagine being trapped in a sticky, sweet tomb, unable to move, unable to breathe. It's a nightmare scenario that still sends chills down the spine. The aftermath was nothing short of horrifying. Rescue teams worked tirelessly, but their efforts were daunting. The molasses clung to everything it touched, making every attempt at rescue a grueling battle. The cleanup process would take months, with salt water being the primary tool to dissolve the stubborn molasses. The aftermath also saw a flurry of legal activity, as the Purity Distilling Company faced lawsuits from the victims' families. The company would eventually be held accountable, but no amount of money could bring back the lives lost. In the end, 21 people lost their lives, 150 more were injured. Horses, dogs, and even rats were also victims. The cleanup took months. Salt water was used to dissolve the molasses, but even today, legend has it that on hot summer days, you can still smell the sweetness of molasses in the area. This disaster wasn't just a tragic accident. It was a stark reminder of the dangers of negligence and the importance of safety regulations. The Purity Distilling Company had cut corners to maximize profits, ignoring warnings and ignoring safety protocols. The Great Molasses Flood led to significant changes in industrial safety standards, ensuring that such a tragedy would never recur. Yet, the memory of that fateful day lingers, a haunting reminder of how even the sweetest substances can turn deadly. Today, the Great Molasses Flood is more than just a historical footnote. It's a cautionary tale about greed, negligence, and the importance of safety regulations. It's a story that, even a century later, continues to captivate and educate us about the power of nature and human error. The legacy of that day serves as a reminder of the importance of accountability and the need for compassion in the face of tragedy. As you pour molasses into your coffee, take a moment to reflect on the lives lost and the impact of this bizarre event. It's a story that, even a century later, continues to captivate and educate us about the power of nature and human error. If you found this story as intriguing as I do, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing for more such historical tales. Have a story you'd like to share or see featured? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the fascinating stories that shape our world.